me, Holly, and her daughter, Stella. And Holly here is holding a brand new cooking and baking day camp for kids in the Bancroft area that we wanted to talk a little bit about. So, Holly, let's start off with a little bit about your background and why you decided to start this cooking, baking day camp. I imagine this isn't something you just suddenly woke up one morning and went, you know what? Day camp, all about cooking and baking. So tell me a little bit about your background and what made you decide to run this camp.
Yes, thank you. I started, actually, I was a Montessori teacher for 25 years.
Oh, wow.
And I left teaching during the pandemic to start teaching kids cooking full time. So I started with in-person classes and then quickly realized during COVID that there was a need online, obviously. Yeah. And that was kind of an eye-opener because I always thought, in cooking in person, you really want to be in the moment and all the smells and all of the things, the tasting. But being online was kind of unique because the children got to be cooking in their own space, which was very nice for them to learn their space. And also, we could reach children from anywhere, which was very cool. So I still have my online cooking school. But, obviously we have the in-person things because there's nothing like being in person with children. And I just found there was a huge need for camps. Parents were looking for different opportunities for their kids, something to do while they were off on the breaks from school. And so it just felt natural to add a cooking and baking component to a regular sort of day camp. They're there from 9 to 3:30. And then we do cooking and baking. And then, of course, the rest of the day is filled with things like crafts and games and outdoor play and all the fun camp experiences. Yeah.
Because we got, as good as it is to have that educational portion for them, you got to break it up and have some fun as well. Speaking of fun, we also have Stella here, your daughter, who you told me helps actually with not only taking part in the cooking classes and the games, but also helps run some of the games and stuff. So, Stella, do you have a favorite thing to cook with Mom or a favorite game to play at these camps?
I like the fresh rolls.
The fresh rolls? Okay, yeah, can't go wrong with that.
Fresh rolls, yeah. A little bit of cooking with the noodles and stuff, the rice paper, but a lot of chopping veggies and making a little dipping sauce, right?
All right, sounds good. So, Holly, you have 2 weeks for this cooking camp that parents can sign up their kids for, right?
Yes, so this is our first year in Bancroft, and so we'll be running out of a local church in town. It'll be the last week of July and the first week of August. The first week of August also includes the holiday Monday, so, it's an option if you would like to keep your kids home that day, you're welcome to, but we'll be open and running. And so, yes, they sign up for a week at a time. And there's a 2-week option there.
Yeah, and I see that this is for mostly it's for kids 4 to 8. Do you find that that age range to be kind of important to introduce them to that stuff, that 4 to 8?
For sure, yes. I personally love that age because when I was teaching, that was the age that I focused on. So I have a special place in my heart for the little ones. But I also like, because I'm usually their first experience with cooking. Okay. So we really teach them how to use a vegetable peeler, teach them how to use a knife safely. Kitchen safety is really big at this age, obviously, because they're just learning. So it's very low risk. We start off with very simple recipes and a lot of things that don't need to be actually cooked that they can sort of get their feet wet with. And then I go up to age 8, and the 8 is a very soft 8. Obviously Stella is 10 and she still enjoys the camp. So if kids are older, 9, 10, and they want to come, I never say no. I just let them know that it is a mixed age group.
Well, and speaking of mix, I think it's also nice that they'll learn both baking and cooking skills, right? They can try both aspects of that.
Yes, because I find kids will often gravitate towards baking. So we alternate to give them the experience of both, because you can always get them in with the baking. But, sometimes with the cooking, they're like, oh, I don't like that, right? Yeah. I don't like, we cooked soup once, and I had a little boy say, oh, I don't like soup. And I said, well, there's so many different kinds of soup. How can you say you don't like soup? The only other thing I was going to mention was allergies and sensitivities. I know for a lot of kids that's an issue. Just reach out if you're curious and you have a child that has specific allergies. Usually I can accommodate most needs. We can do everything dairy-free. We don't use any meat because of the cross-contamination issue for that age group. It's kind of hard to tell them not to lick their fingers. So it's vegetarian. We can do it dairy-free very easily. We could do egg-free easily as well. So we do accommodate eliminate most allergies.
Yeah. Well, thank you both so much for coming in and sharing about this. I hope you get full books, and you're going to have to like add weeks or something because people are going to be so excited for this because it sounds like a lot of fun. If I was still 4 to 8, I would definitely want to go to this for sure.
Yeah, we're going to have a great time. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, no, for sure. And if you want to learn more about Holly and her cooking camp, you can email nourishcookingco@gmail.com.
Well, if you're